Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with the daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera, aka Hbar'S. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask you guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. And if you do find any of the information in this video valuable, useful, or interesting in any sort of way, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. Now overall, when we're talking about the current market structure, we are sitting at around almost 37K on Bitcoin. Most of the market is actually holding up fairly stable for it being a Friday. We also see Hbar'S sitting around like 21 cents. Overall the indices not too bad today. It's pretty much the typical stuff, kind of sideways trading, stability, if you will. But yeah, I mean, the market is actually holding up fairly strong for it being a Friday. Usually Fridays are a little bit volatile. You can pretty much go look back on this, go back to like the historical data. A lot of altcoin holdings and even Bitcoin are a fairly volatile ride on Fridays into the weekend. Of course, the weekend usually being a little bit of a relief rally. Saturdays are pretty much key to watch for as well. But for the most part, my eyes are on the prize, aka Sunday and Monday. I've told you guys about this multiple times, weekly and even monthly candle close. Monthly candle close a little bit more important to me, especially considering it is on a Monday, so that is when the indices do open. So Monday is going to be a telltale sign for us, especially in terms of market structure and strength. I do believe that Hbar will have a lot of strength. I believe that when we're talking about Hbar, it is making some higher lows here, having a little bit of that retest low from pretty much the 26th. But for the most part, we are a little bit on an upward trend. It kind of looks like it, at least from my point of view. If we're talking about the past 1 month, it does not look like that at all. I'm just talking about in the micro viewpoints. We are making those higher lows, as you guys can easily tell here. So, in terms of, Hbar price action, I'm really kind of looking into February for this market. I think that February is going to be like the main, start of the show. I told you guys to watch for the end of January. We are pretty much nearing the end of January, which this is why I'm saying, watch for Monday being the monthly close. That's pretty much what I'm really kind of watching currently. That's pretty much what I've been telling you guys for the last couple of days, especially now. But the reason why I'm watching February into like March and so is just because, right now, that's pretty much where my mindset is in terms of an extended bull run. I think that that's where the real show starts. I've always said this, even going back to my live stream from, a couple weeks ago now. But I do want to talk to you guys about some exciting things. So let's talk about NFTs. So I've always said that the NFT market is huge. Right now, if we're talking about NFTs, it's sitting at about like $35.8 billion in terms of the top collectibles and NFT tokens. But of course, this is a little bit different in terms of specific NFT tokens. We could actually talk about that here shortly, but I do want to just quote Barbarian here because, he's always talking about NFTs as well. Pretty much if you're in Hedera, you need to be talking about NFTs because it is going to be a huge selling point for Hbar. But we just hear the commercial opportunity afforded by NFTs is almost unfathomable. The role Hedera Hbar will play as the ledger on which many of these tokens will reside is almost incalculable. I've always said this as well. I just got done minting my tokens on Hbar just recently, or on Hedera using Hbar, I should say, and it was pretty much the most affordable, the fastest, and it was the easiest process ever. I've used OpenSea using, Ethereum, even, Matic as well. I'd recommend Hedera 100% over anything else, and that's not me being biased. That's just me being, one, a tech enthusiast, but also understanding the technology and the savings behind, using Hedera. It is insane. Now, of course, we do see market distribution between segments, Q3 2021. We do see that collectibles were, the big hit, but I do believe that NFTs are going to be so much bigger than this. We see a lot of companies moving in on NFT adoption for, even fashion, for games, for the metaverse, everything. Even sports being 1% is laughable because we know that sports could benefit greatly off of getting into non-fungible tokens. Now, the best part about this is that if we come up here and we're really kind of seeing, new product launches, we're seeing all this kind of stuff being talked about. The biggest part that I really kind of look at in terms of, just NFTs, like I've always talked about art galleries, museums, and stuff like that. Like that's pretty much what they're talking about here as well. I think that that is a huge selling point, but also we're talking about cross-brand loyalty marketing through like CPGs and stuff like that. Like CPGs also are going to be huge for the Coupon Bureau, which we're going to be discussing here shortly as well. But this is actually pretty cool when you're talking about kind of being a little bit of a bridge for retail, demand for NFTs through, of course, these major brands, like for example, Food Lion's MVP program, Kroger Plus, or even CVS, Extra Care. These are some huge names in the game, and I do believe that when we're talking about them at mass scale, I think it kind of goes hand in hand with what we're trying to get to, even with, the Coupon Bureau, for an example, right? It's just kind of being that bridge for retail individuals to get in on, crypto adoption, but also the NFT area of expertise, because it does streamline a lot of things. For example, we even see here now proof of purchase can be effortless cross-brand, armed with transaction data and broader consumer profile. Any of the participating brands can airdrop NFT rewards, an offer to add their newborns, picture to collectible art, for instance, metaverse experiences, and even currency. Even the retailer can get in on the action. So this is going to be a perfect way to kind of bridge the gap between individuals that don't know about NFTs to actually really kind of allow them to learn about them. Also, we do see NFTs market capitalization. Like I said, don't really look at this market cap because it is a little bit different in terms of those that are focused on NFTs in general. But we do see the NFT market growing astronomically, especially since like July of 2021. During this time, if you were in NFTs, you're doing incredibly well because they have been just skyrocketing in value. I know a lot of talks around NFTs has been like, are NFTs dead? Did NFTs just signal the bear market? Like, not a lot of people still understand that NFTs are going to be so much bigger than what anybody really can understand. And I really kind of bring you guys back to this. So I actually got tagged in this yesterday, so shout out to MC here. We've been hearing that Tune FM is exploring deals with Kanye West, Justin Timberlake, but could it get bigger? Andre Wantar mentions the possibility of Tencent Music, which has over 800 million users in China. Spotify owns 46%. And listen to what Tune FM is actually saying here. This is actually pretty bullish overall.
All this kind of thing. So we'll have Tune FM everywhere. And the music NFTs, you can actually listen to them in the streaming platform. And in most cases, or some cases, actually earn when other people listen to the music NFT that you bought, if you bought the rights along with that.
And I just want you guys to understand what he just said. Like, if you buy the rights to a music NFT and individuals are listening to that NFT, you could also earn residual income off of that alone. That's huge.
A lot of these features are going to get rolled out, and we're thinking probably mid-March, but Q1.
Mid-March, aka Q1 of 2022. This is going to be huge.
We've got a bunch of celebrities lined up, talking to a bunch of people, and actually potentially going to be getting like Kanye and JT and some other big names. And there's a bunch of other ones that people in Nashville, actually just talking to a label from Nashville that's got a bunch of huge names in country music, potentially talking to Tencent Music about their catalog for music NFTs and some other artists. So there's really a lot of things in the works, and I don't want to make any specific announcements saying we're 100% doing this or that for this person. But there is a ton of interest in this, and it's really coming out of a fire hose, like the inbound interest. And
he's basically just saying like the interest for, something like this is massive. And trust me, I get it, right? Like when we're talking about Spotify, like you guys all understand how massive Spotify is. I don't need to tell you guys that Spotify has been a massive giant in this space for a very long time, especially in terms of just, podcast, music in general. And they're continuing to make headlines throughout the, world. But when we're talking about Tune FM, Tune FM has been, in my opinion, probably one of the most overlooked use cases that are being built on Hedera right now. Because tokenized music in general is going to provide a ton of value, not only for the artist, but also for the consumer, right? Being able to be that individual that owns the NFT rights to, say for so, I don't know, we'll just say a popular song, right? And it's getting 1 million plays, maybe we'll just say like a week, okay? And you're earning anywhere between, I don't know, $100 to $1,000 a week off of that. That's huge. Okay, and maybe it's not $100 to $1,000, maybe it's, a little bit less, and you own multiple of them. Think about the residual and the passive income that you could earn off of that. I mean, I see in my opinion, I see actual, music, for an example, we could see NFTs becoming a massive, use case within all of music, not just, music marketplaces in general, but think about individuals like me or you, creating a music platform, or maybe even creating a studio or a record label that's specifically targeting NFTs. I actually just did this with my design agency. We're kind of moving into just the NFT space alone to focus on NFTs as a studio. I think that that's huge. Okay, I think that the sorry, excuse me, the growing demand for something like this could be huge. A record label that is all digital, that is focused on NFTs. I think that that's going to be something that comes out of something like this. Now, of course, excuse me again, we see this from Danny Ide. We've got an industry expectation that at the beginning of Q3, we would have enough national retailers turned on that a CPG could in fact do a national offer, and it will be redeemed in the general close vicinity for those shoppers. Now, this is coming from Fobi with, of course, the Coupon Bureau, and we do know that this is all utilizing Hedera. We've talked about this. We've discussed this. I think that this is such a huge use case as well. And like I said, pay attention to NFTs and tokenization, because this is all kind of utilizing, some part of that. Of course, when we're talking about digital coupons, this is kind of going through, the consensus service more so. It's not, going through the token service. But again, this is also going to provide massive amounts of volume and value over Hedera yet again. All of this stuff goes hand in hand to the massive amounts of volume and value that Hedera will pretty much generate. But when we talk about the Coupon Bureau, we always kind of lead ourselves back to one name, and that is SKUX, right? They're talking about turning on enough national retailers to actually do a national offer. All right, who are those retailers? All right, because it could be anybody. When we're talking about SKUX, we know that they have connections to huge CPG brands. Going back to the NFT thing from earlier, just a few brand names are like Walmart, CVS. There's so many other ones too. Like I'm pretty sure that we even have Kroger on the list for SKUX. It's crazy. But again, there is so many use cases from this. I mean, you can pretty much see everything that they're kind of focused on here. And of course, they are talking about that sunset plan. We can actually go down to the roadmap. The sunset plan will be pretty much being launched around the Q1 to Q2 time period. It's actually more so Q2, which that sunset plan is actually going to be pretty big. That's when we're talking about mass adoption of this. I've talked to you guys about this. I think that when we're talking about, Coupon Bureau, even with Fobi, like, we've talked about how Fobi is pretty big as well, but they are also focused on some major industries, specifically, retail, sports and entertainment, hospitality and tourism, and other industries. We know that their main service, this CheckVax, is pretty much built on Hedera. It's pretty much utilizing Hedera technology. I think that this is just one use case, but I think that when we're talking about, where Hedera really kind of, plays a part, is pretty much going to be in every single product that Fobi is going to release. I just don't see them not utilizing Hedera at full scale when they could pretty much see the efficiencies that Hedera offers. And last but not least, I'm going to just wrap this up to really kind of talk to you guys about staking. So we know that proxy staking is coming to Hedera in Q2 of 2022. I'm actually very excited for this. Of course, you can pretty much see the benefits here. You can pretty much still have the ability to spend your crypto at any moment. Nothing is locked up, no bonding, and zero possibility of losing your HBAR. I'll be contributing to the fastest, most secure, and fair consensus in the world. I will also be staking my HBAR, because earning HBAR from staking your HBAR is going to be, it's going to be like Christmas time. It's going to be incredible. But of course, we do see update proxy staking coming to Hedera and HBAR holders labeled as coming soon. Launch of staking and community nodes is in Q2. Nodes will receive significant compensation for staking to incentivize them to do all the effort. Proxy stakers receive very small amounts. Now, for those who are proxy stakers, I just want you guys to all understand that, running a node is going to be more beneficial for you, but it's also going to be more beneficial for the network. This is why nodes will receive more compensation. Of course, still being a proxy staker is going to earn you rewards. Don't know what the APR is going to be, but of course I'm sure we will see more information as time does get closer to the launch of this. I'm just still excited to earn HBAR pretty much just from staking my HBAR in a secure fashion, because we know that staking in crypto right now is a little bit, sketchy on some exchanges, on some platforms, and utilizing some assets. But I really kind of put my trust behind Hedera when I do pretty much anything with HBAR, because it's probably one of the most trusted crypto assets in the space currently. But we know that staking provides a massive amount of growth for a lot of projects. For an example, I look back at DAG Constellation, right? You could have ran a node with Constellation. I forgot what the amount was that you have to hold. I think it was like 100,000 or something like that. But we were talking about this asset around like 3 cents, almost 4 cents, before it ran to like 45 cents. But DAG, I still hold DAG. I still think that DAG is going to be huge. But again, when we're talking about DAG, a lot of the value that gets, like even new, right? Because we talked about New Cipher as well. A lot of these assets that explode in value happens because of incredible staking opportunities. Like look at this massive jump from like 30 cents to almost, $1.60, which, I'm just saying, if we're talking about massive pumps like that, it happens because of DeFi opportunities and of course staking rewards. That's why I'm really kind of looking forward to this staking opportunity, because a lot of individuals are going to try to buy as much HBAR as possible, lock it away, and that's going to lock a lot of value away in staking opportunities. So there's not going to be too much out there left. And I think that this is going to allow for a lot of FOMO happening. And I trust me, I know when we're talking about HBAR, there's 50 billion out there. I get it. But I think that a lot of that supply is going to be locked away and also going to be utilized in general. So I'm very excited for staking. I think that it provides a lot of retail, FOMO and a lot of retail attention. Anybody in crypto will tell you that, because, as an investor myself, you want to get residual income, passive income, and this is the best way to do so in crypto, especially if the APR allows it. Like if it's a 10+% APR, that's going to be extremely good. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are. And this beautiful, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.